Hi, I'm glad to see you back again. I've been thinking a while about a particular topic, about the main tenets of white supremacy and how the consequent social system closely aligns with the tropes found within the narcissist-empath relationship dynamic. The power dynamics in these relationships, white supremacy plus the other, and narcissism plus the empath, both have systems of domination. When scholars and activists talk about white supremacy culture, they're often referring not just to racism itself, but to norms of control, hierarchy, entitlement, and dehumanization historically developed and reinforced through contemporary racist systems. Here are some parallels people often observe. 1. In a narcissist relationship, one person's needs become the center of reality. The narcissist's feelings, wants, and perceptions dominate. The empath is expected to accommodate, soothe, and adjust. The empath's needs are minimized or dismissed. In the white supremacy culture, white perspectives, comfort, and interests are currently treated as the default standard. People from marginalized groups are expected to adapt and accommodate. The underlying message in both: your role is to serve my reality. 2. In a narcissist relationship, gaslighting and rewriting reality is a routine occurrence. You hear phrases like, "That never happened. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things." The empath begins doubting their own perceptions. With white supremacy culture, people reporting racism are often told, "You're overreacting. That wasn't racist. You're playing the race card." The person experiencing harm is pressured to question their own reality. 3. In a narcissistic relationship, the narcissist feels entitlement to another person's labor. Emotional labor flows only in one direction. The empath listens, forgives, explains, comforts, and sacrifices. This cycle or dynamic is mirrored within the routine practices and expectation of white supremacy culture. Traditionally and without question, we accept and endure long-standing, carefully spun and crafted system policies built on extracting labor, care, knowledge, and energy from others while simultaneously minimizing their humanity. And sadly, what is not widely recognized is that everyone is suffering underneath the weight of this framework. The everyday symptoms of this will be discussed in another video. Let's get back to the current topic. Unfortunately, we knowingly or unknowingly engage consciously or unconsciously in the thinking and belief that the closer the alignment or adherence to the white supremacy modality increases personal safety and success. What we give up for this ideology is our worth and personal sovereignty. We forget that within each system, the pattern is what you give me matters more than who you are. 4. Within the narcissist relationship, we see what is called conditional worth. Meaning love is often tied to compliance. Approval comes only when the empath is useful, agreeable, or admiring. The counterpart within the white supremacy culture. Marginalized people are often granted acceptance only when they remain non-threatening, accommodating, or useful. Worth becomes conditional rather than inherent. 5. In a narcissist relationship, there is punishment for boundaries. When the empath says, "No, I disagree. I need space," the narcissist may respond with rage, silent treatment, guilt tripping, or smear campaigns. In white supremacy culture, historically, marginalized groups asserting autonomy have often been met with backlash, hostility, or punishment. The dynamic becomes: obedience is rewarded, independence is punished. 6. The idealization of self-sacrifice. Many empaths, especially women and people from marginalized communities, are socialized to believe: be nice, be patient, be understanding, keep the peace. Don't make others uncomfortable. These messages can make someone vulnerable to narcissistic exploitation because they learn to prioritize harmony over self-protection. Many critics of white supremacy culture identify a similar expectation: that some groups should absorb discomfort so others don't have to face it. 7. Hierarchy instead of mutuality. Healthy relationships operate on reciprocity, shared humanity, mutual respect. Narcissistic relationships operate on superior/inferior, controller/controlled, giver/taker. White supremacy is likewise built on a hierarchy that assigns greater value, authority, or legitimacy to some people than others. The common thread is domination rather than mutuality. A particularly relevant observation. Many Black women, caregivers, highly empathetic people, and those raised in environments where survival depended on reading others' emotions often describe recognizing a familiar feeling in narcissistic relationships. I was taught to manage someone else's comfort at the expense of my own. That lesson can come from family systems, workplaces, religious settings, gender expectations, racial dynamics, or all of them at once. So the deepest parallel is not really about narcissist versus empath. It's about a system where one person's humanity is treated as more important than another's, and where the less powerful person is expected to absorb the cost of maintaining the relationship. Healthy relationships reject that framework entirely. They are based on mutual dignity, mutual accountability, and the understanding that no person's needs or reality automatically outranks another's. Thank you for listening. If you liked the content, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'm looking forward to seeing you back again.